All right, we're joined now by Charles Davis at the NFL Scouting Combine here in Indianapolis. And Charles, you played this game. What's the value of this event for players and coaches?
It started, as you know, stats about injuries more than anything else. A collective place where all the teams will have the same information about these youngsters. And then, of course, they put workouts with it. Now, again, it's a collectible. Everyone sees it at the same time. You have a baseline of events and drills that you're running, so you can compare that. What was the best before? Now, in recent years, that's changed a little because they've changed some of the drills. So that data that had been built up over X number of years, they're starting over again, but they feel like they're building up better value, doing different things of that nature. The last part of it, of course, they get to know these kids a little bit better. Everything's in person. You're asking your questions. And as we've been taught since we were youngsters, if they ask you a question, they usually have the answer. So you might want to tell them the truth as opposed to trying to get your way around it, because they're asking it for a specific reason, but gives these youngsters a chance to be in front of people, be in front of decision makers, and show their best light.
Yeah, Coach Reed mentioned that a few days ago at his press conference. He said, yeah, some of the answers might seem generic or canned, but how do the players respond to certain situations? How do they maneuver things? You can learn a lot about a guy in those situations. And the Chiefs have had a lot of success at this event in recent years. A great draft class last year obviously led to a Super Bowl. What are some areas, though, that you think the Chiefs could address this offseason position-wise to hopefully get back to the Super Bowl next year?
Well, you know, the one thing the Chiefs do is they never neglect the offensive line. You know, when they had the Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes was running for his life and got hit a lot, they immediately went to work on that offensive line, and boy, has it paid dividends, and they continue to draft for that. Are they happy with the people that they have in competition now? Will they continue to have competition at offensive line? I think your interior three is pretty solid. I don't think there's much competition there. Right tackle for Andrew Wiley, and I always feel like I'm giving him short shrift. He just shows up and plays and does a nice job, but always seems to be fighting for his job. I think that the running back situation, Pacheco, what he did last year, Jerick McKinnon, they're in great shape on all of that. I think they're going to continue to look at tight end, because what Travis Kelce gives them is phenomenal. Hard to believe he's in his mid-30s now. What? Where did the time go, right? Noah Gray's there, Blake Bell's there, Fortson is there, so they have guys. But one thing I know about Kansas City, they like competition. They like people. And last but not least, that defensive front always will get attention, because every time you look, you know affecting quarterbacks is a big, big deal. Is there any way to add an extra guy in to go get some quarterbacks? I think Kansas City will look at it.
Last question for you. This is the first chance for a lot of Chiefs fans to hear some names that they'll hear a lot over the next month or so. Are there any players in this draft you're looking forward to watching here over the next few days?
I'm really looking forward to watching this linebacker out of Arkansas, Drew Sanders, because he plays like a Dante Hightower played from New England at the height of his career, but he's not as big and thick as Dante, meaning he plays off the ball. He'll tackle anything in there. He actually has decent coverage ability to get outside of the box and go cover people, but he also gets to the line of scrimmage and comes off the edge. I think he had 9.5 sacks last year. Now, remember, he came from Alabama, and he was playing a little bit at Bama, 3 starts in 2 seasons there. So he wasn't getting playing time, goes to Arkansas and totally blossoms, becomes an All-American. I want to see him. I do believe he's got a little bit of a hammy tweak, so I don't think he's going to run the 40, but he did say that he's going to try and do the drill. So I want to see this young man move around. He intrigues me.
You're a Tennessee guy. There's some volunteers in this draft you got to like too, right?
You know, I'm trying not to just, to bleed orange here. We've got a full group of guys. We've got Darnell Wright, the right tackle. We've got Hendon Hooker, the quarterback, although he's coming off the ACL, but he should be in competition, be one of the early quarterbacks taken. We've got 2 wide receivers, and Cedric Tillman and Jalen Hyatt. We've got a linebacker in Jeremy Banks. We've got a punter. You name it. Right now, we've got it, and boy, it is fun to see.